excretion. Can we recap what do you mean by excretion? Whoever knows the answer had to raise their hands and answer. Arbas. Yes, Arbas. Unmute yourself and answer.
Excretory system means to remove waste from the body.
Yes, we are removing all waste and toxins from the body. Very good. So let's start sharing our screen. So you all can see the screen. So we were talking about because of metabolism, there were several harmful excretory products are formed. And the process of removing these toxic materials from the body is called excretion. Okay. So all toxins that is not required by our body, we are removing it from our body. And then, you know, who could read this sentence on the screen, which is there on the screen, and tell me what does it mean? Yes, who? Raise the hand who feels that they can read it. And for all activities, I'm allotting, as I told you, internal marks for you. Yes, Umesh.
Living beings need energy for their survival and to perform activities, either building up of body material or its breakdown.
Very good. Can you explain it, Umesh? What does it mean? Who can give me its explanation?
Ma'am, can I give?
Shaz, okay?
हम बोले Arbas.
Yeah, Arbas.
लिविंग बींग्स को काल तो सो जिंदा रहने के वास्ते एनर्जी की जरूरत है और काम करने के वास्ते और बिल्ड अप करने के वास्ते एनर्जी की जरूरत है, मटेरियल्स की जरूरत है बोलते हो रहे.
So you have got breaking down as well as building up. So can you tell me the chapters which we have completed, where were we building up activity, हम कहाँ पर कर रहे थे, and breaking down activity कौन से chapter में we did? Yes. Nobody can answer this question. हम लोग respiratory, when we were talking about respiration, were we talking about breaking down or building up in respiration? What was happening? Which activity was respiration?
Building up.
Is respiration a building up activity or breaking down?
I think breaking up activity.
That is where, you know, we were breaking down activity where we were consuming oxygen and supplying it to the blood. And then, you know, in building up activities, when the blood was formed, but the energy cannot be utilized unless it combines, hemoglobin combines with the oxygen. Okay. So now in excretory system, we are going to see that after all these activities are done, there is a need that some toxins that entered inside. You are exhaling out nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and even oxygen, which is excess that's not required for your body in the environment. But still, you know, when you eat food and when you inhale air, some toxins after breakdown that is not required by our body has to be excreted out. So this part of our this activity is done by an organ called kidney in our body. Okay. So you are seeing it here in this picture. If you look at this picture, what does it shows?
किडनी का तो एयर को ऑक्सीजन वो सब अलग कर रही है.
Yeah, kidney ka you are seeing, and you are seeing these other pictures also in the screen. What are the other pictures you see on the screen?
Stomach.
Yes. This is
Stomach.
whole your digestive system.
Stomach, digestive system, stomach.
And what is this? इसके ऊपर वाला जो picture है वो क्या है? Which I am showing you here.
Organism.
These are organisms. This is mitochondria. Okay. Which is breaking down. Yeah. And so this is the building up activity and breaking down activities that has been collectively called metabolic activities. So organism uses different substances for the metabolic activities. So we just see that how you know, the blood is collected and the deoxygenated blood is coming out of the body. So the life process has got various activities. That is what our body is doing. So it is photosynthesis, respiration, digestion. So what is happening in this life process? What are the products that we are that are being formed after this process is done? So can anybody read? What do you get during the process of photosynthesis? Yes, Ashaz. Ashaz, raise the hand first.
Yes, ma'am. Life processes photosynthesis. The products we get is glucose, oxygen, and water.
Okay.
The life process is respiration, and the products we got carbon dioxide and water.
Okay.
Life process is digestion, and the products we get is undigested food, amino acid and fatty acid.
Okay, good. So that means during photosynthesis, this glucose, oxygen, and water. So can anybody give me the what do you mean by photosynthesis? What is happening in photosynthesis?
In photosynthesis, plant is taking sunlight and carbon dioxide.
And what is plant doing actually there?
Preparing her food.
Plants are preparing food. Okay, very good. So plants prepare food in that activity of photosynthesis. Now, and during respiration, what is happening? Carbon dioxide and water that is being exhaled out. And during digestion, amino acids, fatty acids are has to be removed from the body. So when these systems does it function, then there is a need to have another system that removes all this from our body. So some of these who could read this. Okay, Arbaz.
Some of these may be harmful for the organism and are removed from their body or
Yes.
packed and sorted in the body of organisms.
So what is happening is some of the harmful substances are removed from the body and some are also stored in the body. Okay, everything is not removed. Some harmful substances are even stored in the body. So let us see what are those harmful substances that are not removed from our body. We are removing wastes like, nitrogenous waste. Nitrogen is required for building up in the plants, and in the human body we are throwing this nitrogenous waste out. Excess salt and several other materials are removed from our body. But if we are taking, our body can perform this function to some extent. That is the reason excessive consumption of all these things are not good for our body, because a part of it which is not removed, that get stored inside the body and it becomes harmful for our health and day-to-day activities. So let us see what is happening here. So a number of reactions that are taking place during various metabolic activities. There are many useful substances that are produced. Now, can you tell me what are those useful substances that are produced here?
After excretion,
Yeah, what is there on the screen? Can you see the picture and tell me what's happening here?
amino acid is there. No,
So what is happening at the same time? Many other things happen, such as toxic wastes may be produced, and water content may increase ionic balance. You have already learned about ionic balance in your physics class, have you?
Yes, ma'am.
Can anybody tell me what is ionic balance?
The most poisonous of all waste products of metabolism is ammonia.
Okay. So with the water content, what happens? It may increase the ionic balance. Ionic balance is positive and negative. All the elements that are present inside our body could be like sodium is positive and chlorine is negative. So they form an ionic bond, a strong ionic bond. So water content may increase ionic bond in the body, may be disturbed. So if there is what does water does? Water dilutes these ions, and then there's ionic balance. So if the sodium and chloride are not in an ionic bond, they get distributed. And then what happens? We know what all are the waste products. Can you give me the names of the waste products?
amino acid, fatty acid,
Yes, carbon dioxide, first of all, when you are exhaling out. Yes.
water,
Water,
Water is also,
nitrogen,
Yes.
Uric acid,
Uric acid.
uric acid,
Hmm.
bile pigments, excess salts,
Excess
etc.
salts.
And excess salts. These are all toxic for our body, and these are the waste materials that has to be removed from our body. So now you know this, how was this bounds of ionic bonds? We were talking about the bonds that make ammonia. So what does ammonia contain? What all are the elements, chemical elements that are present in ammonia? Can you see this picture and tell me how is this ionic bond formed in ammonia? What are the elements that are present in ammonia?
NH3.
NH3. We call it NH3 because it contains nitrogen and hydrogen elements here. And similarly, water contains
Water contains
O2.
hydrogen and oxygen.
yeah,
OH2.
yes. In carbon dioxide, you find carbon and oxygen are the elements. So you find that these elements from carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and salts contain sodium and chloride. So this carbon of and the oxygen of carbon dioxide are getting attached to the ammonia, and this is forming uric acid. This uric acid is again toxic, and it's a waste material that has to be removed from the body. And similarly, sodium and chloride are also the wastes that has to be. The most poisonous of all is ammonia. Ammonia is very harmful for our body. That has to be removed out of our body and excreted out. If you look at the report on the plasma and the serum, this is the report which I want you all.
50 is normal.
This is
Yes,
50 is normal.
50. If it is 50, is it normal?
Yes.
No, ma'am.
No. It should be, if it is less
No, no.
than, hypoglycemia is more dangerous than hyperglycemia. If it is more than 100, 120 also, it's not that dangerous. But if it is reduced to 60, if it is less than 60, it becomes very dangerous. So this range has to be, minimum 60 should be there in your blood for the normal energy levels and the body activities. And similarly, you need to have, if your sodium is less than 135, then also it creates problem. So the ranges that are given there are minimum and maximum range. So these type of tables will be given in your exams to analyze and write. So you have to analyze this and write it. So are you all confident enough that you can understand it, or you want me to explain again?
Yes, ma'am. I understand, ma'am.
Yes.
समझ गया हूँ.
Okay, understood. Right. So these all are present, and apart from that, we need to have total proteins, bilirubin, phosphorus, calcium, triglyceride, total cholesterol, and uric acid that is required in your body. So these are all the compounds are done. So based upon the blood analysis and urine analysis, the doctors helps to diagnose what disease the patient is suffering with and what type of treatment has to be done. So now this is the report of the urine analysis. Can anybody analyze and tell me what do you find in this? Can you check and tell me the ranges? Do you find any abnormality in any of these
Yes.
components?
I mean second one.
Second
Yeah.
one. And
Second
third one
one.
too.
What is
And
second
third
one?
one also.
Creatinine. Yeah. So creatinine should not be more than 2. So it is showing as 2.7. And anything else that
And
is
Third one.
last one also
Third one.
uric acid.
Third
Third
one
one.
also, ma'am.
Last one
Third one.
also,
Third
ma'am.
one.
yeah. Even last one.
Uh,
What is
Third
the
one, ma'am.
last
24
one?
hours
What is
calcium
last
and
one?
24 hours uric acid.
Uric acid.
Uric acid, ma'am. 24 hours uric.
24
Yes.
hour.
Uric acid.
24 hours.
Our uric acid is more, it shouldn't be more than 600. And what else?
Third one, calcium.
Third one.
Calcium. What's the normal range of calcium?
200.
Calcium up to
200.
200.
It should be up to 200. But what is the what's the value you see here in results?
305.
Not
305.
So the whoever is this report is showing some abnormalities. So now looking at this, can you tell me which organ is affected in this patient when this is shown? All these abnormalities are shown. You
Urine
see
analysis.
Uric acid.
and you see
Urine.
abnormalities in creatinine, okay, calcium and uric acid. So which organ of the body is affected here? So when it is, which is not functioning properly?
Urine.
Because of uric acid, kidney get affected.
Kidney, very good, Arbasit. So kidney, if the kidney is not functioning properly, you will be facing this these abnormalities. That means which doctor you must consult if you find these abnormalities in kidney?
Kidney doctor.
What is it called? A doctor who deals with the kidney ailments?
Nephrology.
Yes,
Nephrology.
nephrologist. Very good, Aisha. So there is a way that because that doctor can understand